Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme are hosting a meetup game at the South Point. Starts at 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock. Our name is on the list. Let's go play some 2-5, no limit, Texas Hold'em. All right, we are at South Point Poker Room. A bunch of games running due to the Andrew Neeme, Brad Owen meetup game. We're first on the list and they call us quickly. They're starting a new table. 2-5, no limit. We're five-handed. Let's get the cards in the air. $500.
You got it.
Into 5,000.
Do it. Thank you.
When playing short-handed, you really have to open up your ranges. I'm under the gun +1 with ace-9 offsuit, so we make it 15 to go. Cut off calls and big blind calls. 3 ways to a flop. The flop comes king, queen, 9, 2 spades. We have the ace of spades. I do have range advantage here, so let's continue our story. I bet $30. Both players call. They could have a variety of holdings, such as queen 10, queen jack, king 10, king jack, king X suited, maybe some smaller flush draws. When the turn brings the 7 of spades, I think it's time to go for it, guys. Action checks to me, and I bet 75. We're repping a flush, maybe a set. Cutoff folds, and the big blind calls, putting him on a hand like a pair in a straight draw still, or a pair in a flush draw. And I don't think he can handle river bombs. When the river brings an offsuit 4, he leads into us for $100. Sure looks like a blocker bet. His bad 2 pair or 1 pair type hands will take this line, setting his own price, thinking I'm not capable of a river shove as a bluff. After all, what bluffs could I have on this run out? After getting called in 2 places on the flop and 1 place on the turn, I should have a lot of strong hands. The worst hands I'd have in this situation are specifically ace-10, ace-jack with the ace of spades, and I guess ace-9 with the ace of spades. Very small bluffing range and a very large value range. So I don't think call's ever going to be profitable. Our 9 can't beat really anything. So it's time to turn our hand into a bluff with the nut flush blocker and shove it all in for $315. He thinks for about 10 seconds and puts in the call. He shows jack 10 offsuit. Definitely one of the stronger hands he can have, but in theory, he should probably still fold that since I'm really never bluffing in this spot. Except this time, he got me. $500 gone, and we reload.
Russ. 1, thank you.
With blinds at $2, $5, we're now 6-handed. I'm under the gun with 2 black kings, fresh off a rebuy. They might think I'm tilted. I make it 15 to go. The viewer of the vlog on my left puts in the call, and 2 other players call. For 3 ways to a flop. No ace dealer. The flop comes queen 6 deuce rainbow. Looks good. We want to target all top pair and maybe some 6x type hands. So we bet $30. 42-year-old Caucasian male, weight 169 pounds on my left, puts in the call, and we're heads up. Really looking to go for 3 streets of value if the run out is clean, targeting all of his queen jack, ace queen, king queen type hands, although we do block a few combos of king queen. When the turn brings a deuce, it's a really great card. It limits his combinations of pocket deuces to 1, so we go for value, $70. He puts in the call. The river is a 5, rainbow board, a brick, unless he has specifically 3, 4 spades. Pretty unlikely. Time to go for value, I bet $150. He thinks about it and shoves $500 in the middle, having us covered. Now, I do know that river raises are very rarely bluffs.
River raises are always just the nuts, right?
But as you can see from my ace-9 hand, it can happen. What's he repping? Pocket queens, I think he 3-bets that pre. Pocket 6s are the most likely combination. I blatantly ask him, do you have pocket 6s?
What are you repping? What are you repping? Pocket 6s?
He says no, and I believe him. So what does that leave? The 3, 4 of spades, which probably folds pre, and one combo of pocket deuces. Is he overvaluing ace queen? I don't like it. And I eventually put in the call, and he shows pocket fives. It's a good river. He had a lot of outs. I guess he was just thinking I was bluffing into 3 people on the flop and to continue my bluff on the brick turn. But in the end, he was rewarded, and he stacks us for a $1,000 pot, and we reload again. We're now in for $1,500. Needed to take a break. Pretty steamed up. Let's win some money back before we bowl.
Got a high hand, you get a bonus.
Thank you.
With blinds at $2, $5, Andrew Neeme straddles to 10 under the gun. He likes the action. There's a few limps. I limp on the button with pocket fours, and the blind's complete. Neeme does not raise. We're 6 or 7 ways to the flop. The flop comes ace, king, 10, 2 spades. Everybody checks to me. I don't see any reason to bluff here. I check it. The turn is a beautiful 4. We hit our set. Big blind bets 20. There's 2 calls, and I think it's a pretty clear raise here. We want to charge all 2 pair type combos that are going to continue, and all draws. There's flush draw, there's straight draw out there. So I make it 110 to go with our set. I don't think anybody else has a set. They would have probably raised pre-flop. Of course, there are 16 combinations of queen jack, which is a concern, but you can't think about the monsters in the closet. You got to play to win in Texas Hold'em, especially the no limit variety. Action folds to the original better in the big blind. He thinks about it for a while and puts in a raise. $425 is the total. The other 2 players fold, and I try to read a little something into this raise. Of course, I'm scared of queen jack, but he seems to be some sort of reg, and I think he'd size a little more exploitatively, maybe make it around 250 or 300 with queen jack. He doesn't really want to scare off the other 2 callers, and he doesn't want to scare me off. I mean, what can I really be raising here with? Would I check back queen jack on the flop? Probably not. You should figure my continuing range is pretty weak. Looks like I'm just making a move at it. I'm really putting him on a combo draw. Straight draw, flush draw, and I have $440 behind, so it's time to go for it. We shove all in, he snap calls. I ask him if he has queen jack.
Yeah, queen jack?
He says yes. Let's pair the board, dealer. The river is paint. It does not pair the board, and we lose another $500. We're now stuck $1,500 in an hour and a half at the South Point.
Second call. I could have left like 5 minutes ago.
6.
All right, I need to win $2,000 in 15 minutes. There's the start. This could be volatile.
Andrew, you missed what he said earlier. He's like, come to the cash and have fun. What'd you say? It'll be fun.
It'll be fun, yeah.
Fun, they said.
They said.
Like in Die Hard when he's in the event. Come to LA. Have a good time. Have a couple drinks.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.
We're running out of money, guys. I didn't plan on firing this many bullets in this short amount of time. I reach deep down in my wallet and I do find another 500. Let's gamble. The very next hand, under the gun, makes it 15. There's 2 calls. I'm in middle position with pocket 10s. We got a premium. It's time to rep tilt. So I make it $100 to go. Action folds to the original raiser, who thinks about it and eventually puts in the call. The other 2 players fold. We're heads up to a flop. No overs, please. The flop comes. 10, 7, 5. Top set. Can we finally win a pot? Original raiser shows no respect to me, and he leads out for $100. Is he repping an overpair? A straight draw? The last remaining 10? I don't think there's any reason to raise in a position. We put in the call. The turn is a 9. Jack 8 gets there. 8, 6 gets there. And he shoves all in. We have $300 behind. Not folding top set. He can have a lot of smaller sets. Maybe pocket jacks. I call. The river's a jack, putting a 1 to the straight out there, and he doesn't want to show. I suspect his slow roll is icing on the cake, and he eventually announces ace high and shows ace queen offsuit. Top set is good. We get the full double, $1,000 pot, and we're now only stuck $1,000. Yeah. Wow.
Other 6 of us lost.
970.81.
981?
981.
Sweet. In for 2,000, out for 981. Oh, the pain.
Unfortunately, my bowling meeting is starting. League play is going to commence week 1 of 36, coincidentally at the South Point, so let's bowl 3 games. Jimmy!
The hunt for the Bradley dollars.
Now it's a little bit like, you kind of look like Zach Galifianakis.
All right, guys, I found him. The guy with pocket 5s.
Hey, it's okay though. It's okay.
He
It's
felt the
against
5
Jeff, so
coming.
it doesn't matter.
He put me on nothing.
Actually, I had him on less than nothing.
Less than nothing. He thought the 5s were good.
He was on tilt for getting snapped off before me. Don't listen to him.
That's true. I did just bluff it off.
But when someone shoves on you, they
They got it on the river. I
mean,
know.
you said it.
That's what I said.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.